Now, this is a story all about how I started a podcast in my town. I'd like to take a moment to relax and sit. It's time to listen to Silesh and the Grumpets.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the 4th episode of the Grumpets. Today we got David, Logan, Derek, and Shuhao. We start right off with this masterpiece of a ultimate chart. This shit is how you make ultimate just strictly better than melee.
Alright, I'd like to say, what are the slight changes you want to see made to Joker?
It's not slight at all.
We can get rid of the counter.
I agree fully. Actually, that's the only thing
he wants to remove Arsene.
Oh yeah, I kind of don't fuck with Arsene either.
Okay, another problem in Ultimate, it's very hard to edgeguard someone who has a better recovery than you. Because they can just go lower.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, edgeguarding sucks in Ultimate.
Edgeguarding is not a thing.
It is if your recovery is awesome, because then you just follow them to the end of the earth.
That's because you played Bowser.
no
Your
risk of
recovery
dying.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because
If you
what?
played a character with a good recovery, you would not be edgeguarded.
Yeah, but will I play fucking... Who do I play?
You play fucking Bowser.
Bowser?
Don't you?
Yeah.
Recover his ass.
I get
That's
fucking
the problem.
clouded. I can't go fucking 1 inch below the stage without dying.
Okay, so does anyone have any objection to the curb stomped this guy into oblivion category?
Why are you curb stomping Bowser into oblivion?
Because he's stupid.
He's like one of the least bullshit characters.
Excuse me? He picks you up and goes pooh, and you die really early. That's
Just a
bullshit.
grab, right? Like,
And then his forward
in
smash
melee,
is...
you would die if you're grabbed at a high percent too.
Wait, no?
Unfortunately.
That's like super high. And
I don't know.
And
I
he
don't
got
think a grab
that. And he
kills
got
you at a
the.
very
He
high
got the
percent.
bullshit forward
It
smash.
converts into nothing. It's not even like that easy to land, right? It's like
Also, Bowser is
easy
just
to grab.
like. He's just lame.
Oh.
Yeah. Banjo Kazooie, lame. Bayonetta, lame.
I
Can't
can
help
get on
but
board
notice
with,
that
Fuck heavy.
majority of people in the curb stomp category either have a sword or multiple projectiles in their kit.
Okay,
That was-
projectiles are
That was the exact criteria I used. you nailed
Sword or
it.
projectile. What
It's-
about Bowser?
It's 2 projectiles, sword or lame. 2 plus, sorry, 2 plus, sword or lame.
You also put the fattest characters in this category too. You put King DDD, Bowser, and King K. Rool.
Bro, King K. Rool got
Ridley.
like 4.5 projectiles. He got his crown, he got the ball.
I think King K. Rool is pretty good.
King K. Rool is fucking horrible.
He's King K. cool, dude.
Okay, why is Little Mac ad as made?
I don't know. It's
Yeah, why is Little Mac?
I don't know.
Fine.
You don't you feel bad for him?
No.
Why don't you want to
Why
give him
isn't-
slight changes?
Oh, okay.
Nah, slight changes are to
Tell me
remove
what is
bullshit.
good about Bowser Jr.'s design?
Don't you feel bad for him? He's fun.
Okay, so you just put the worst characters in the highest tier. Am I getting that right?
No, the highest tier
Because you pity them?
No, highest tier is just like this character. There's nothing fucked up about this character,
How is
and that's
Little
what I
Mac
like
not
about
lame?
it.
Explain that to me.
You feel bad for him.
Yeah, the feel bad takes precedence.
Yeah, the whole having super armor on all of his smash attacks.
But he's also dog shit, so you like it's like, oh, all right.
I don't know about this revert to melee version also.
Well, what's wrong with it?
They would just be a billion times better than
Would they?
every other character.
Would they?
Like, I would like to see I wonder if they could do that. Or you have just melee characters in Ultimate. What would that play like?
I almost feel like Sheik would be able to chain grab 90% of the cast or some shit.
Really?
The chain
I
is
can't
like
believe you want to keep
A
Squirtle,
lot of
but
loot.
abolish Charizard and Ivysaur. Like it would just be Squirtle.
You can so the rule is you can either play just Squirtle, or you can play Pokemon Trader and have access to all 3. But you can't play just Charizard or that other bitch.
Let's see.
Yeah. There's very little wrong with the list.
You want to know his reasoning? Isabel and Villager,
What is it?
they're cute.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, they're just cute.
I think it's supposed to be added as name.
Is it because the villager has an Indian version?
There is a brown villager, yeah. That shit is funny. but it wouldn't be
That's like the only reason you should main villager, right?
to play the
'Cause
Indian
it's like
version.
ethnically like accurate.
I'm undecided on whether Pikachu should be reverted to melee.
You know what? Pikachu should be
Pikachu's like,
reverted to
alright,
melee,
no.
but Pichu
have no problem with
to have
Pikachu.
the changes.
Pikachu is like not a bullshit character in Ultimate.
I don't know, man. You seen those recover from anywhere?
Literally
Also,
every
Melee.
fucking every character with a good recovery does that. You're not educating anyone who has a good recovery in that game.
Does Falcon have a good recovery?
I mean, I
after
guess
that?
it's
No.
pretty hard to. No,
That's what I thought.
it's only slight.
Significantly better than.
It's only
It's
slightly
better than
better.
melee,
I think you can
but,
drift. You can
don't
drift even harder in Ultimate, if I remember correctly.
Drifting. Drifting is all that Falcon has.
Yeah, but you can drift pretty hard. But I don't think you get a jump reset on Falcon Kick. Or yeah,
No.
you don't get it in Ultimate. So maybe those cancel out, and it's just as shitty. But
I think he's floatier, so it's like better because of that.
yeah, I don't know. Samus, I don't fuck with Samus. Samus should be removed from every game retroactively.
Even Metroid.
Oh, I guess
Yeah, I think
playing
Samus is the
nothing.
only. Actually, I'm just kidding. I was gonna say Samus is the only melee character who is bullshit in Ultimate. Then I realized so is Youngling.
Wait, I don't know. Samus is like, how is Samus more bullshit in Ultimate than she is in Melee?
Because you have movement options to not get bodied by projectile. I don't know. Projectiles just
I feel
seem
like
way better in Ultimate.
Pretty shit in Ultimate,
Yeah,
actually.
Samus seems pretty bad in Ultimate. You don't have the
I don't think
fucking.
she's
Actually
good,
played Earthbound.
but she's
Have I have
Going to play
like I have like 2 hours in Earthbound.
Is it a good game?
Yes, if
Is
I
it just a
remember, it's pretty
JRPG?
okay.
Didn't you just say you should remove Samus retroactively from all games?
Oh, I
Yeah,
meant Smash
I disagree
games.
with you.
Smash games.
Yeah, no, that's what I said.
Oh, I don't think she's that bullshit, but she's bullshit enough to warrant retroactive removal.
She's not that bullshit, but I think she should be removed retroactively from every Smash game.
You just can't. It's because she has 2 projectiles.
Well, okay, yeah. So she
also has,
She
Like
got
her
like 3
bombs.
projectiles.
I don't even count them.
Alright,
I'll
borderline.
give her the benefit of the doubt with the bombs, but fuck that. Fuck a fucking missile and charge shot. New Zelda, stupid. Piranha Plant, shit, I should add it just because I feel bad for it. And then we got fucking the buff woman in the corner. Not really. I forgot.
It's Terry.
We
We also discussed is not a woman. We have been over this.
Yeah, I forgot. I also forgot their name. Kirby. Fuck it. Actually, nah. We can curb stomp
Do you
Kirby.
only not like Ganondorf in Ultimate because only his forward smash is a sword?
I don't
His
like him
up smash
because
and
he's.
down smash are swords also.
I don't like him
Alright.
because he's lame as hell.
He is
Dude, he's
cool.
pretty sick in melee. I don't know.
Yeah, he is really sick in melee.
I guess there could be an argument made that he would be belonging in the revert to melee version.
But then he would not be in the top 8 characters like the revert to melee is.
Excuse me, there's like only 8 of like the top 13 are there, okay? Keep in mind that I would like to keep Mario, put the new Dr. Mario, and Luigi into on this new Smash X game.
Okay. I do respect the Ada's made of the Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
so that you can spike with your down B. That is crucial. As a kid.
Wait, he has like 4 spikes or some shit.
He actually does.
Good.
What do you have down
Does
there?
Donkey Kong have a combo game?
In Ultimate, yes.
I played Donkey Kong.
Probably.
Should probably play
You
Donkey Kong.
you grab, you cargo throw, and then you throw up there.
That's just melee.
So you cargo up throw up there?
Yeah.
But you can't normal up throw up there.
I don't think so. Alternatively, you cargo throw and you walk off the edge and you back throw them into the stage.
Wait, are you talking about melee or ultimate?
In Ultimate.
You can do that in ultimate?
You can do it in both
You
games.
can do
It's
it,
better
yeah.
in melee because in Ultimate it's really easy to tech
Wait, what is easy tech?
everything.
Why is it? Because you can buffer it?
Wait,
Or...
what'd you just say though?
Everything in Ultimate.
Yes.
Just fucking Donkey Kong back throw into the stage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because of the buffer.
Yeah. Because the window like within which you can tech is actually like
Smaller, but it doesn't
in
matter.
Ultimate because it's like 20 frames in melee and I think it's like
Do you guys use like any of the control changes?
no. I play
I
that shit.
don't like that feature of.
I use no tap jump.
Yeah.
You do?
A lot of people don't like tap.
Casual.
What do you mean?
Hey, that's the opposite. You can't tap jump.
I use no tap jump and I use tilt stick.
Yeah.
Wait, what's he called?
You can use this C stick for tilting.
Because if you use smash stick, if you jump and then you press down on the C stick twice, you do your downer and you fast fall.
Ah.
So tap it once. Don't be such a baby.
Shut up!
Yeah, learn to tilt your control stick like it's melee.
Shut up! Never. I'm not learning that game.
That shit is.
Wait, I don't know. It's more like melee if you don't do that stuff, right?
No. I do that stuff so I can play it
Without having to learn the
without
game.
having to like commit any time.
Maybe I should do that. Tilt stick, but so you smash with A?
Yes.
Nah. I should have added a revert to
I
Smash
do not use
64 category and
I might
put
turn off
Kirby
tap
in
jump.
there.
Alright, sometimes I use tap jump for like a second up air.
Or I also
I
use
actually
tap
never
jump.
use tap jump.
I use tap jump up for like up airs.
I only ever tap jump accidentally.
Oh, that's what tap jump. Wait, yeah, why the fuck would you have tap jump?
Don't a lot of Falcons use tap jump for like up air?
Rising up airs?
Yeah.
My,
'Cause that shit can
I
be
don't
really
know,
quick
it's
if you use
so
tap jump.
are you just,
Yeah, I use it for rising up air, like right after up air.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Because you can just hold up and press A, right?
Yep.
And so you're rising up there with like so little skill.
don't you like mess up this sometimes because you like go too fast and you like up smash on accident?
Yeah. Sometimes you just fuck up. But it's like not like it's like so much more worth for like rising up air and shit like that. It's like so much easier.
Alright.
Shit is
I got enough melee flowing through my veins. So.
very good.
Melee transfusion is done.
Now you can play Smash 64.
Now I can play another 2 hours of Ultimate before killing myself.
Alright. I want to know what is up with Destiny and saying the N-word.
You don't know?
I had not listened to any of them. Can you give me a brief
Okay.
overview of his position?
Here's what happened. Destiny, I don't know, he uses the N-word in private. Like as a joke among friends, and he defends that position that he's allowed to use in private as long as he doesn't use it in public. And then like there was some drama at TwitchCon, and some girl like started like exposing him by like telling everyone Destiny uses the N-word. And then Trihex was like, he was talking to Trihex about it, and Trihex was like, yeah, like I think it's fine to use it in private probably. And then 2 weeks passed, and then Trihex got all sad about it. He's like, I don't know, man, it hurts. And then Destiny was like, he said pretty much that he was like willing to end his friendship with Trihex to like defend his principle.
Oh my god.
And
Oh my
Trihex
god.
was real sad about that one. And then Destiny pretty much did. He canceled the podcast. He's like, I don't fuck with that guy anymore because he turned on me.
I don't fuck with that. Mm.
Yeah. And that's it. And I requested a debate with Destiny. He did not respond to me.
He deleted it.
What?
He made his Twitter private. I'm sure he got getting pounded with requests.
My email requesting debate about ethics and N-word usage.
Do you know what? Do you know why Destiny thinks it's okay?
I don't know. You're saying some nonsense like
It's like it's
Do you
a,
think Trihex came back, rescinded his "it's okay" because he got like roasted by some other people?
that's like
think
the idea.
not
Like
only
he
that,
got like a
like,
little roasted.
not only that, but like also because Destiny said like he would be willing to like end his friendship with Trihex.
Fuck.
Like
It's-
because he
No,
values
like,
his
originally
he quote
Trihex
values
was
his
like-
principles above all.
Trihex originally was like, "It's okay," but then he came back and was like, "No, it's not okay." But do you think he came back and said it's
Bro,
not okay because
Trihex
his friends
is-
were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I don't know
Trax
if
is
he
not
came- I don't
the
know if he
guardian
came
of the
back.
N-word pass.
He didn't come back and say it's not okay, but he did come back and say like actually it does hurt me, and like all this drama is
It's
also
like-
hurting me. And then-
Oh, okay. So Destiny says it to Trihex in private.
No,
No, he
No.
doesn't.
no, he
He
doesn't.
Okay.
Says
Okay,
it to
that's
other
just
people
weird
in
then.
private.
I don't know then.
It's like how strongly do you have to believe that you should be able to say the N-word in private that you would be like willing to lose a very close friend?
How close
Like,
of friends are
How
they?
proud do you have to
He's
be?
like, probably like Destiny's best remaining friend. No.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
god.
has no one.
That's some strong beliefs.
Oh.
Like- Like even like this is like Trihex of all people, and you're
And it
like,
was so
man.
sad. If you watch like the last discussion they have, the Trihex is like on the verge of tears the whole time, and Destiny's just like
So,
very
like-
cold.
so like, it's like the argument for why you shouldn't say it in public is like pretty easy, right? It's like you just like you do harm when you say it in public,
Yeah.
but like in private, his argument is like you don't do harm because it's in private and no one knows about it. But then like not only did he tell everyone that he says it in private.
Okay, that I think that's right. Like he'd be hiding even more if he didn't tell everyone.
Okay, but now
No,
he
no,
makes
because
it.
it's at the point that you tell everyone that the utility becomes negative.
Is that his?
No,
Is that why he is?
Okay,
I mean,
I have
that's
no
why
idea. I
you would-
cannot understand his argument at all.
but then he's
look
like
it up.
not very like willing to like what if everyone said it in private? Like the world would be like worse, right?
Okay, but because of fucking
Yeah, I agree.
utilitarianism, you can do what you want as long as it works in your situation.
I don't. It's like
Let me see. Let's see what he said. So his argument is when it comes to the N word usage, I do believe in the liberation of language.
What the?
yeah,
no,
he doesn't understand language is the problem. He also
There's a
like
modernized contextualization.
he
I don't know.
yeah I
I don't know.
It's
about
like
that one.
you know how so like his argument he said this in the past is that like he says like basically like language is like meaningless without context. So like me saying the N-word as like as a joke versus me saying it as like a derogatory term, they're different.
There's also the context of society.
Right.
Mm.
But then like
What the fuck?
if you like there's like a similar thing for Ta-Nehisi Coates. He says the exact same thing. He says like language is like meaningless without context. So like
Yeah.
for example, like he says like he can't call his wife's friends like bitch, but like his wife can call her friends bitch because like the context is different.
Okay.
So it's like the logic is similar in that like white people just like can't say the N-word because the context in which black people say the N-word is different.
Yeah, but Okay, I don't want to argue in favor of it, but like the context in which they're saying it, like you can just argue it's the same
No,
thing,
the
right?
context in which they're saying it is in a society where white people can't say it anymore, and that's the important thing. So that they've appropriated it for themselves.
Yeah.
But they can just argue in the context of which they say it in private. It's like, since that sphere has like no negative implication.
No, but even in private, you're still perpetuating the stereotype with the people
It's
you're
like-
talking to and with yourself.
Like
What
how
if everyone is so woke that they're able to disentangle it?
how nuts
I don't think so.
like how nuts do you have to be to admit it, right? Like does he
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
I mean, I respect that.
it's like respectable,
Hey, that's
but
what
like
he was saying. That's what he was saying. Like Trihex was like you could at least like say you're gonna stop saying it or something, and Destiny's like, I'm not
No,
gonna lie.
Yeah, do you think
I
it'd
would
be
never
better if he
lie about it.
acknowledged that he shouldn't say it, but
I respect that. I respect that.
if he's like, I know I shouldn't say it, but it's in private,
It's even
and
worse.
I have
if-
freedom, or if is it better just to be like, yeah, I say it, I think that's right.
I don't
Yeah, I think what he's doing is right. Other than everything that's wrong with. I mean,
assuming he's right about everything, he's correct.
I don't even think he has like a. I don't.
It-
I like truly think he's arguing in bad faith, where like it's just like he starts with the thing that like he's too proud to go back and apologize, and then he makes his arguments afterward. But he doesn't actually
He
believe in
holds
arguments.
he does like
Yeah, that's
hold himself
interesting.
like insanely close to the things he believes in, which is like
Well,
But he said like he's like this is like he's like my moral principles is I believe I should make the world like the best place for everyone to live in. Like how do you get there from this?
Wait, that's not. Wait, is that his?
no, that's not his.
That's
He's
like
not a
can't be-
utilitarian, I think.
He said that. He said that in the Trihex discussion.
Wait,
Isn't he just an egoist?
I'm pretty sure he's just an egoist.
I think that's what he's. I mean, like that's exactly what that's like verbatim what he said in
Oh,
that
man.
discussion, the
He's
last discussion. of Trihex.
not even consistent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's actually like justifying it from his ethics. He's just like retroactively justifying it.
I think if he like.
I mean, if you also read like his post, he's like so salty. It's like very clear that this is not him like calmly following his like. He's like pissed. He's like pissed at Trihex.
Apparently, there's a Kanye quote or some shit where it's like if everyone hates you, then you must be like the bad like person in the situation.
Fuck. What is it?
I forget. It's like
Oh, I forget.
it's good too. It's funny.
Okay, I think
Yeah,
that's
it's,
not good.
yeah, that's not.
If everyone
entirely
hates
true.
you, you must be the bad person.
Yeah, because that's like the first
Terrible,
people who.
terrible advice.
What's wrong with it? Like if everyone like
It's
thinks
it's
you're an
the
asshole.
first
Yeah,
person
like,
who
no
said that
one-
like the world, like the Earth revolves around the sun. Everyone was like, kill him.
Yeah,
Except he
what
was
about
right.
freaking like I don't know a civil rights activist or like
Yeah.
a rebelling slave or something?
I mean,
If
okay,
you're saying
this
that,
is like
if
overwhelming.
society agrees on it, then it
That's
must be
ethically
right.
though, right? And
It's
you
like
can argue they have
overwhelm.
no
It's like
ethics.
overwhelmingly like not the case where it's like
No. The actual quote is: if you run into an asshole in the morning, you ran into an asshole. If you run into assholes all day, you're the asshole.
Ooh. Ooh, that's true. Ooh. That's
I mean,
sicker than Bowser's up there.
yeah. I don't.
mean, you can still view it in the context of like civil, whatever. The
Right. It's like it's the same
Yeah.
context, but it's like overwhelmingly like these situations aren't about like civil rights or slavery or like gay rights. These are just like everyone is a dick to you. It's probably because you're the dick to begin with.
Huh? Wait, but this is a completely different quote than what you said earlier.
Wait, you can apply what you said to this
Quote
quote.
you said earlier was if everyone is wrong, if everyone is mad at you, then you must be an asshole or something, right?
Yeah,
Wait, what was it? No, it wasn't. It's like if everyone thinks you're wrong, then you're wrong.
or like if everyone is like, I guess like wrong. If I said wrong, then Yeah, it doesn't work.
All right, end the podcast. Check back on your quote. Fact check yourself.
I mean, it definitely was not the same quote as what Shuhao just said.
You gotta
It's-
listen
it's
to it right
in
now.
the same vein, but it's yeah. His is just like the way you act towards people. It's not like whether or not what you think is right or wrong.
Sure.
Wait, did you read my argument for why it's not good to say the N-word and other slurs?
Yeah.
Should I? Do you want me to say it? Okay.
Yeah, go through
it's
it
that-
again.
First, you're participating in the negative stereotype. I'm not sure if you can just just because you're using it, it shows that you're using it in a negative way, and I'm not sure if you can mentally disentangle yourself from that. And also, it's kind of a deception because you're acting socially different when you're not with the people your slur targets. Even if you tell them, I think it's still a kind of deception. Fuck. Wait. What did
Tell
I-
them that you say it.
Huh?
Tell them that you say it.
Yeah, even if you tell them you say it, they're still like you're still like hiding it. And it's also that like because of their trait that they can't change, you're not gonna say this word that is meant to be offensive to them. You're excluding them from like normal dialogue, like normal speech, because of their unchangeable character. And also because you're saying it in that negative way, you're still perpetuating the idea that those people that you're using the slur against are like other people, since you're not one of them and you're allowed to use it, but you're fuck, I can't explain this.
All right.
So it's all based off the fact that you use it with the knowledge that it's like a negative connotation, right?
It implies a negative
I think even if you
connotation.
Right?
yeah, something like that.
Like if someone walks in the sand
but
and they accidentally drag out the N-word in the sand, right? And they don't know what it means, you're not gonna blame them for it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. No one's gonna say it because
it's also that.
No one
oh
accidentally
wait,
says
actually,
the
it might be worse that he tells Trihex that he says it, because now Trihex is suspicious of everyone, that everyone is saying it behind his back.
like wait. Well,
I mean, I don't know what Destiny's like. From a utilitarian perspective, yeah, it's bad to tell him, but I don't know what Destiny's about. Destiny's
That's another way, like using it behind people's backs hurts them.
yeah. But like, I don't know, Destiny is like, whatever his principles are, which are very unclear, but like he's not willing to like conceal or like hide anything.
Destiny is like, if we just forget about all history, if everyone agrees to forget about history and the social context of the history of this word, we can use it.
Does he say that?
I don't know.
Wasn't
I'm
that-
assuming. I feel like that's his attitude.
Oh.
towards it. I
didn't
feel like
Deity argued that at one point.
Deity
Oh,
argues
yeah,
a lot.
Deity
Deity
argued
argues a
that
lot
we-
of shit.
Exactly.
Do you remember that? He
Deity
said
argues
what he said.
that Deity. And Shuhao is here
Exactly.
to not
Wait,
misrepresent
no.
Deity.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't
no.
with respect to
It's
the
how we
N-word.
should
It was something
forget
else.
about the atrocities of the past in order to move
Oh.
past them.
Yeah.
It was not a perfectly
Very
sound
good.
argument, but you know what?
Very
Deity's
good.
not
Wait,
here
no,
to.
he quoted like a Quora article.
Oh
or
no!
something.
He quoted. No. See, you're misrepresenting him. He quoted Samuel L. Jackson. Oh no!
Are you sure?
He quoted
No,
Morgan
it was-
Freeman. Morgan Freeman
Yeah, it was Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
it was a
Freeman.
YouTube video about Morgan Freeman.
and iDubbbz.
Good.
Yeah, those are the two. Yeah. But, you know, he's not here to defend himself, so we'll just not worry about it.
Destiny's not the, or whoever else is not the only people who think that way. So
But yeah, it's pretty. I don't know. It's like, even if you're perfectly right, even in a world where Destiny got that shit spot on, he's just like, has to be insanely proud to
I
not be
think
like, sorry, I won't say the N word anymore.
I think he can
Well,
make
okay.
it right by making it the social standard. If he can do that,
If he
I
can do
think that's
that,
what he-
If
I
he
think
can
that's
get
what he.
everyone else he knows to just say the N word.
yeah, if he can do that,
I
well,
think
he's the
he
greatest
just
person alive.
that you can change society in
Okay,
that way.
okay. A
Greatest person
long,
alive.
long time ago, Destiny used to just say it on stream. Like he would just say it, like
Yeah.
he would just say it, and
No.
and then like at some point he was like, "Yeah, I reevaluated it, and I'll stop saying it on stream at
And then
least in public."
and then he
I mean, I don't know.
switched
I
to
don't
the
think he's
F word.
incapable of changing his mind. I just think I don't know. He might be too prideful now.
I mean, yeah. I think he just like makes like a lot of enemies by being like too having too much conviction in what he says.
Dude,
That's
yeah,
his- that's his
one
shtick.
It's
thing.
also like he doesn't care about the people. Like he's like willing to throw them away as
Yeah.
friends.
He cares about like he's such a big proponent of like how his channel he needs like this core following to like make the money to survive. And so like when he just does that, like he gets like core fans by doing that like really convicted
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
I mean, I
sketchy
don't know.
stuff.
He
But,
just says like he does what he wants and like he's never gonna do something for his fans. And I think it's that quality of him that attracts his fans.
yeah, so it's weird, like it's almost like a paradox or something.
Paradoxical nature of Stephen Bonell. All right,
Yeah.
come on, hit us with your philosophy questions.
Let's go. Okay, I have to pee first. Goodbye. Good night.
Oh,
I actually
no.
just asked that philosophy thing because I needed to submit a reflection question at that time. Alright, we've been studying determinism, and that shit's pretty scary.
why?
And it seems as though like it is very hard to like argue for free will,
Yeah.
and like but if determinism is true, like literally like anyone can just shank somebody and be like, I was predetermined to do it, or it's like because of how the universe was, like I couldn't avoid it. But it's interesting that like we all act like there's free will, like you just trust there's free will, and because like laws and ethics are just like because you assume free will exists, right?
I mean, it like feels like we have free will. I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
it
but if
feels
you
like we have
actually
free
try to
will.
rationally like, it's always just like, oh, we don't have free will, or like everything is deterministic.
All right. That's what that. Yeah, exactly. So the conclusion of this argument is that the self is an illusion. Okay, so. Okay, okay.
Alright, start this shit over from scratch.
Just arguing for. Have you read about bundle theory?
Yeah, I just read about that today, but I don't understand what the fuck that is.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright,
Am I
start
arguing
from
with that?
scratch so I can cut it.
What?
So I can cut the BRB. I need to go to the bathroom.
No, that's perfect. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what the heck? You doing?
I don't think we could. You gotta stop adulterating these podcasts,
Yeah.
man. Just upload them as is.
Yeah, stop censoring free speech.
Let's talk.
I don't
about
even
free
believe in
speech.
free speech.
What
Why do
the?
you not believe in free speech, bro?
I don't care.
You're going to prison. Okay, so if we accept a physical interpretation of the universe in which everything that exists is physical, then we can say that because everything is determined, everything about a certain object, everything about an object's future is there in the present. As in, if you see an object and the world it's in, you can predict the complete future of the object, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So starting from the Big Bang, if you were outside of the world and you were God and you have fucking awesome prediction powers, you could predict everything from the Big Bang.
Oh wait, no. Wait. I
Ugh.
think like quantum physics like says some shit where there's like actual randomness in the. It's not like
Yeah.
determinism isn't real,
There's random.
but
Well,
like free will is also not real because you don't control the
Yeah.
randomness either.
Yeah. But
Like there's like something at a very like microscopic level that like actually is random.
Okay, whatever. I don't care. Shut up. Okay, so
What?
so but
So your theory only applies like if we use classical physics,
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
which like that's
Or
not
wait,
how it works.
um, wait, maybe not. I don't know. Just let me explain it, and then
Okay.
maybe it doesn't work.
Go ahead.
I fucking haven't slept in like fucking 32 hours or something. Okay, so and also in addition,
Oh.
two no.
Oh.
One object can only have one future, but two identical objects can have a different past. You can make two identical objects using different methods, right?
Okay. Okay. I accept that part.
even people.
Yeah, even people, because people are
Okay.
physical and people are only physical.
Okay.
But because of this, a god can predict. If you were outside of the universe and you were God, blah blah blah, you could predict the entire future of the world, but you can't predict the past if you were given a world. Let's say, for example, you have two cups of water and you put it next to each other. Eventually, because of fucking entropy or whatever the fuck, they're gonna be become the same temperature, right? Like room temperature, let's say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But seeing the room temperature water, you can't know for how long it's been room temperature, and you can't know like how it got to that state because the past can be different, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if this is related, but the ship of Theseus, right?
What is that again? Oh, yeah, you're right. The teleporter thing.
Yeah, or like a ship where you take out a piece and you put a new piece. The ship of Theseus only it becomes something else. It stops being the ship of Theseus. The ship itself can never know from its own subjective view that it's become different. You can only tell if you see the process by which the planks are moved out and moved back in. If you take out all the planks from the original and replace them with identical planks, and then you assemble the original, or you make a exact copy of the ship, and you showed it to someone, even if you showed it to God, God would have no way of seeing if the two are different, right?
Yeah, but the ship would know. Like,
Why does the
whoever
ship
built
know?
the ship.
Okay, the people
I mean,
who built the
imagine if
ship,
it's a person who got their body parts switched out or something.
The only people
They
who
would
would
know.
know.
they only
Okay, I don't know if the God thing works, but like anyone else who sees it,
yeah, anyone who sees it knows.
other than the people who did the replacing.
What? Yeah, the people who did the replacing know
No,
it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
Okay, but the problem with the ship of Theseus is the people who. It's the problem of the people who see it being swapped.
Okay, but that's semantics. I'm talking about like actual physical reality.
Okay, so only if you don't see it being swapped.
Okay, and let's think about what history means in this context. Is the original any different from the copy? Maybe the original has the same atoms, but do atoms have memory? Do atoms have a history? Like, why does it matter that the copy is a copy and the original is the original? They're the same atoms, but atoms they don't have a history, so they're actually the same thing. Just because they're made of the same. I'm saying a thing's atoms and a copy of that thing's atoms are exactly the same. The only thing that is different between them is their external history that only people who assembled these things can know. They themselves can never know. Because if you look at the thing in itself, you can never tell if it's the copy or the original, because physical things don't carry a history with them. You know.
I think this is like if we go to the teleporter argument. It's
No,
like
no, okay. Let me just finish. Right.
Okay.
It's a long argument. So if you have two atoms of the same element, they're actually the same. Even if you swap them, they're still actually the same thing because they don't have any history.
Right.
They're only contextualized in the history that's made externally by other things.
Wait, I don't know. I'm not sure I understand how the atoms don't have history, but because they do, right? Like that.
Okay, so
It's like where
from a
did they come from?
okay, where do they come from? But what physically can you tell about the atom that to know where it came from? There's nothing you can't
Yeah.
you can't tell history of anything. Things
Yeah.
physical objects don't have any history, so they're
Okay.
actually the same thing because there's no physical property that you can
I mean,
derive.
that's like your definition of like if it's the same as if you can objectively, without knowing the history, tell if they're different. But that's like a pretty specific definition of like the same or different, right?
Okay, but what's actually different about two atoms? There's actually nothing different, right?
Okay. Yeah.
No, I
so
mean
you're
there
gonna-
is there
Are
is
you
like something
going
different.
into
It's just
where?
something you can't observe or possibly like know from looking at it without
So-
knowing.
So are you saying the external history of the atom determines? Are you saying an atom has a historical essence which differentiates itself from every other atom? That it functions differently because of its history.
Or it
Are
doesn't
you saying
function differently, but it
Okay.
is.
okay? It is different, but in what? Okay. So you're skipping ahead a little bit. Okay, so now let's look at the human brain. If you have a person and you have a clone of their brain, or if you have an exact replica of them,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing historical about them which you can differentiate them with, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, unless you were like there with what happened.
Yeah. But seeing someone die doesn't kill them, right? Killing them kills them, but seeing them die doesn't kill them. Nothing external about an object. I mean, nothing external about a person kills it. Like not observing a guy doesn't kill it. Observing someone die isn't what actually kills them.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, so two brains are exact copies of each other, but they just have different atoms. They're identical brains.
They're identical in every physical way.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
But obviously,
History isn't an actual thing. History isn't a property of atoms, and it's not a property that continues through time.
yeah. Yet somehow when you combine all the atoms to make a brain, history gets formed, right?
So
No,
history's like
it-
not a physical. Oh, I see. So you're
History
saying like
does
history is
exist.
incompatible with
Yeah,
a materialist view.
Exactly. History. If you say a person has an actual history, you have to give them an essence which carries this history somehow, because there's nothing in physical law which can actually carry a history.
Okay. Right.
All right, let me
Okay,
just like
wait.
talk this out so I can understand it better.
Wait. Hold on. First, so an atom doesn't have history. Is there anything you can say about like radioactive decay then? Because like a carbon-14 atom decays to a proton.
Sure, but if you replace it with the exact same carbon atom in the exact same state of decay, it's the exact same thing, and there's no physical difference. So there's
There
no
is a
actual difference.
physical difference, right?
What's the physical
'Cause
difference?
there's no two carbon atoms that are gonna have the exact same physical decay.
Why not?
Holy,
Why not?
God.
Because they weren't created created at the same time. They were all created like using it by an analog process.
But
Right.
what about this state of decay allows it to have a history? just because you see something move from one place to another
It's
doesn't
just
mean
that like
it,
two like it's like
doesn't mean
two
it-
carbon atoms will never be the same age.
I guess the argument is
well,
if
why
they
does that
theoretically were the same age, right?
yeah.
Right.
So
'Cause-
it's like not. It's not. It doesn't matter whether or
So
not they.
so imagine the carbon atom being continuously replaced with an exact copy that is going through the same state of a tiny bit more decay, right? Instead of it actually decaying, what's actually happening is that we, and, the same thing would be, it would be physically equivalent if it were being continuously replaced with a new one. Just like how, do you know Thursdayism, which says that our universe was created on last Thursday, but all our memories were planted. So I'm saying that last Thursdayism is completely physically identical to our universe. So that means it is exactly the same as our universe, because creating something on last Thursday doesn't give it no memories, just like how having an actual history doesn't give any atoms in our world an actual memory. There's no history. Atoms
All right. So
atoms don't change because of their history.
to summarize, history
It's not a physical
cannot
property.
be determined. Like
No,
cannot be
it's not
physically
a physical
observed.
property. Yeah, it's not a physical property
Yeah,
in the
I'm
world.
recording the podcast.
History is not a physical property in the
Okay.
world. Therefore,
Can
it's
I get in
not
on this?
real if you're a
Why?
materialist.
I just want to say hello.
Uh,
Come on.
Because like my
You can-
my
they have
instinct is to
different
say yes, I
conversation.
agree.
Fix it
It's
in
not,
post.
No,
a physical
they're
property.
deep in conversation.
but I also would say that it is
What's
a
that
thing.
shit you use? Is this the
Mm.
recording shit?
it's only a thing
Do you pay attention to these bars?
when it affects other things, right? So we are a thing which records our own history and refers to ourselves in the
Okay.
past.
So what I'm gonna say is like I'm not fully materialist, but I like believe in essence that is history exactly, but nothing else. So like I think history is like a real thing, even though it's not physically.
I'm not saying it's not a real thing. I'm saying that
You're saying it's not a real thing
Like,
if
what-
you're materialist.
Which point
right?
are you
no,
protesting
I'm
the
saying
soundness
that
of?
I'm saying something without history and something with history are the same. There's nothing.
Okay, so I'm going to say
there's
that they're not the same, even though you
So you're
cannot
saying-
objectively observe a feature of them that's different right now.
right now. So you're speculating that in the future we'll be able to.
No. I mean like I just mean like in the present time. Like
What do you mean?
even though you can't tell apart these things,
Uh-huh.
they are still different in some way. Like they just are.
And there's no possible way to tell them apart, right?
There's no possible way to tell them apart. I think the part that
Without
shows
a
me is like
context.
if you knew, like there is a theoretical possible way to tell them apart. Like if someone were there to watch them, you know.
So you're saying watching them gives them the history?
Yeah. Wait, this is actually a thing, right? Like that's
No,
a
it's
thing
not.
in physics. Like an
No,
observer, like
that's not how it works.
provides properties to.
The observer is
Atom.
something which interacts. It's not an actual sentient observer. That's not. No.
The observer. What about that one study, the young double slit experiment, where they literally
Yeah, but that's
They look at it.
recording. It's not looking. It's recording. It's an
Yeah, I think that's a little
interaction
different.
between physical.
okay, but this is
things.
the same thing. Like if you recorded where these atoms came from, then you would have given it an attribute of history. But if you never recorded it, then they are identical.
Okay,
yeah, maybe.
wait.
Mm,
You make
Dude,
okay, let's say you have
we
atom
could have been
one.
Schrodinger.
No.
We were just a little earlier.
If you have atom 1, right, and you have atom 2, and they're literally the same atom, like decay even,
Mm-hmm.
they're not going to be like there's a physical property where atom 1 is going to be at position like x is 1 and y is 2, and atom 2 is going to be positioned x is 2 and y is 2. There's no possible way that they're going to occupy the same space.
I'm not saying that we are. I'm not saying that we never change. I'm saying that change is not. I'm saying that we can't. we can't bring our history with us through time and space.
Unless we like observe it, unless we record it, right?
What does recording like?
Because then with that recording, you can differentiate two things that are identical.
And he can, and Serial will just say like you can make up something with the same recording and it would be indifferentiable. Like that's last Thursday, because like what if you were just planted that you had your entire life's history last Thursday? You would never know.
Huh.
Like if you made the universe, if the universe was made right now,
You would never know.
you would never know. You don't need a history to imagine a world exactly
Or
like
just
ours,
a history
but-
can be made for you, and there's no way
Yeah.
for you to know.
What?
And I'm saying
All right,
Like he's saying,
describe
like-
a scenario in which I can't, in which there's no theoretical way to tell the difference between the two things.
There's just two atoms of the exact same decay. There's no physical difference between the two. That's what I was saying. Like you can.
But
There's
then,
a,
like, if you
But,
had a guy who saw where they came from, then he could tell you the difference.
I'm not sure. Like
no,
being able to
because
tell
like
the
you could
I'm saying that
you could assemble his brain in a way that he would think that he saw the difference.
What?
There's
What?
a like, cause like what is, unless if this is only in regards to countering a materialist viewpoint. If you believe in materialism and pure materialism, you could argue that anyone could make his brain in a way and assemble the atoms inside his brain to make him think that he saw these two atoms like have a history. Right.
I don't. I mean, it doesn't have to be like a guy. Like, if you could have observed like where they came from, then they would not be the same anymore.
Yeah, but like what observes it?
I don't know. Or if you had
The-
knowledge of where they
like-
came from, they would not be the same anymore.
Right, and like that knowledge, like what is knowledge?
Well-
If it's material, all knowledge is just like atoms, it's just material. And that can be transmuted by any other material things, right? You can make knowledge out of any material thing. Like knowledge in your brain is just atoms coming together.
But what about like imagine a god, okay?
Yeah.
If God had like seen the previous
Right.
what happened before, then they wouldn't be the same.
Yeah, and that's why I think like for the most part Christian people are not materialists. They think there's a soul and think they go to heaven outside of their body. The thing is like with classical physics, right? Things can have a history because two things can never be physically identical.
like why does that matter?
I mean, because like, if you're materialist and someone says, "Oh, but you can just like make a brain that's exactly the same as yours," and you'll be like, "Okay, but those brains will never like occupy the same space, right? They're physically different."
Why does it matter that they occupy the same space or not? We're not always occupying the same space, and we're not always occupying the same time.
Right, but for something to be physically identical, it would have to occupy the same space, because that's a physical trait of anything.
Oh,
For something to have a physical trait, it has to occupy a certain location. And two atoms can't occupy the same location at the exact same time. So you could argue, a materialist could argue, that we have our memory and we have this like distinct experience because our atoms occupy, our brain's atoms occupy this exact space at this exact time.
No.
so what happens when we?
So when you get teleported, it's not you.
I'm saying it's never you. You don't exist. I'm saying your
Yeah,
brain.
but they're saying like, if you could somehow teleport, like that's why maybe that's how materials could say that teleportation is impossible, because your atoms cannot like go from one place to another instantly. They would
I'm
have to
saying
travel.
that it's easier to explain the human consciousness like a computer, which has the function of giving you a feeling, or a function that gives you the ability to see into your own memory. There's nothing that there's nothing like different about the electricity running through the circuits of
But
one
I thought you were
computer.
arguing that like physically there is no history. So how could a computer even functionally give history?
I'm saying history is only wait, keep talking. Let me think.
There's So if you can't distinguish two atoms, how does a computer keep information?
I
Right?
am fully laying down now.
If all it does is
Full
detect
immersion.
charge, how could it distinguish?
I'm saying
Right.
yeah, I'm saying it can't.
Materialistically,
Yeah, it can't distinguish. Like,
but it can, right? Obviously, because it like uses um it uses like it it presupposes that like time goes and it can alter these and then it stores. Right, so it stores things in charge as memory, and then how does it know? Like, that obviously means that there's some sort of history to those charges. So how would it know?
On
Right.
Donkey Kong, if you cargo carry them and you up throw up air, do you have to jump up throw up air?
I don't know if you have to or not.
I think you
Oh.
don't
I don't
jump.
think you have to,
I think
but
you
you
up throw
can.
jump up air, and that's the fastest, right?
You can do either, I think, and it will work.
Incredible.
What?
I just want to combo an ultimate. All right, let's talk about the teleporter. Let's get Mooboy and Weetree in on the teleporter discussion.
Alright.
Not
Let's talk
gonna
about
lie, I
this.
zoned out for this entire discussion.
The teleporter is best prefaced by the Ship of Theseus thing, though. So
No.
it's
This
actually
is an
good.
emotional. This is not
No,
like your ethical.
No, Ship of
opinion.
Theseus is actually hilarious because people like it's like crazy when people first think about it. Okay, so there's a ship, right? There's this guy named Theseus, tragic hero, whatever. He has a ship that he sails out and does a lot of conquering on, and
Uh-huh.
then he dies, and his ship is like set in the harbor to memorialize him. And over time, like the ship, the seas are kind of rough, and it like a board breaks, and so they take this board and they replace it, or this nail falls out, so they nail a new nail onto it. And so at what point, say over like 1,000 years, every single part on the ship breaks, and they replace every single part. Is that physically still the ship of Theseus?
Physically?
Yeah,
No.
like, yeah, it's physically not the ship of Theseus, but would anybody not call it the ship of Theseus?
Probably not.
Right? So people that say it's material would be like, at what point does that not become the ship of Theseus? Because it would just be arbitrary. You can't be like, oh, it's half, right? Or it's 49%, or it's 51%.
What's wrong with 51%?
But do you think the fact
Because
that
it's like
everyone,
arbitrary. It's not that at 51%, as you replace 51% of the physical material of like the weight of the atoms, it immediately becomes not the ship of Theseus.
Why not?
Because that's just not like things just can't teleport out of existence, right? It can't just be the ship of
fucking
Theseus,
engineering
then not the
guy.
ship of Theseus. Because then what is it?
This fucking CS, dude. Get him out of here.
All right, here's the question. If everyone agrees that it is still the ship of Theseus, doesn't that imply that there's some agreement among people as to what that X% is. More interestingly, I'd like to see a survey that goes from 0 to 100%.
It's not about people's opinions. It's about metaphysically.
No. But we're talking about. Okay, here. This is why I want to talk about the teleporter. Not about like it's like. Would you be scared to go into the teleporter?
Okay, that's just shit house
Personally.
shit again. That's just bundle theory stuff.
What?
But
If
no
you're a
theory.
bundle theorist, all you care about is that you as a person, you are just your experiences and your desires and your beliefs. There's nothing about you other than that. So
Okay.
if something were to create you at a different place and just kill your original copy and recreate you with the exact experiences, desires, and beliefs, you would technically still be living. Like you would still exist.
Yeah.
Right? So any bundle theorist would just be like, yeah, I'll go into the teleporter. That's a fast ass way to travel.
Yeah.
Except most people would not do that because it would just
Yeah.
shank them, and there would be a new person with their exact same things.
Yeah.
But they would not that conscious continuousness would not persist as what most people would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it would just be black for you, and then you wouldn't experience anything.
Yeah.
So like it's either bundle theory or it's that there's this like pure physical thing about you that your atoms are what you experience.
I'm saying on a computer, running a program on the same chip doesn't.
Right. And
Doesn't mean
bundle
you're
theory,
running-
that's the same thing as bundle theory, right? Like
Yeah.
like a bundle theorist would believe that.
But like I think like near 100% of people would be scared to go into it.
Right.
So does that mean near 100% of people? What is
No,
their belief system? Like this is the thing. This is the problem. Is because I can't justify how you're a different person when you go through a teleporter, and
Right.
yet I would not go through it, and yet
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
99% of people would not go through it.
'cause-
So is everyone being disingenuous?
No, it's because there's the illusion that you're continuous.
Yeah. Because the person that pops at the other end goes like, oh yeah, it worked. Because they remember everything that the guy that died did.
So the illusion is so strong that no one can overcome
It would perfectly, it would technically be a perfect illusion.
I think no. I'm saying the illusion of consciousness. I think you might be able to overcome the illusion of consciousness and stop fearing death, because you have no self.
Yeah, that's what bundle theorists like stop fearing death once they like believe in bundle theory.
But like nobody believes in that shit. I don't know.
Like, I think a good amount of philosophers are bundle theorists. Like the major philosophers are bundle theorists. Like David Hume and fucking those motherfuckers.
Gene Chinian.
You have to be like so
The real thing is just that like
emotionless,
people
like,
don't
so
think about it, right?
selfless or something, right?
I think it's like Buddhism, except it makes more sense. I think. And if Buddhists can do it,
Oh my god. But it's like effectively the same. I don't understand.
effectively.
Would a
within
Christian
what?
would a Christian
okay,
person
this is,
go
like,
through the
true, right?
teleporter?
If
you
you
think?
walk through a teleporter and it teleports you, or if you walk through a teleporter and it just destroys your matter. It's like effectively the same from your point of view. Because you won't know what happens after.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be the same as death.
Which is like, how can anyone overcome that? Like, how does would David Hume just walk into a teleporter that just kills him?
Because he thinks that like David Hume isn't
Doesn't exist.
his
It's not-
atoms. It's just his
But he doesn't
experiences.
care about his own point of view. That's like, it's so selfless, right?
Right, like he doesn't think his own point of view exists
Yeah.
in the first place.
That's like insane.
Like all you are as you is just this floating blob that collects experiences, beliefs, and desires. And you just go through time collecting
And
experiences,
you're
beliefs, and
not.
desires.
You're never the same blob. Like you can't be the same blob over time. You're just a blob that feels these emotions and memories but you're not the same blob over that felt the previous memories. You're a new blob every time. You're because there's no self.
And even
David
when you
Hume, would he
die,
just kill himself? Would he just walk in the teleport and kill himself? Like,
He-
okay, here's it. Here's the thing. You're
it's
on here
hard
with
to say
teleport.
that
It's
because
got a
like he didn't
50%
exist.
chance to teleport you, and a 50% chance to destroy you.
Man, it doesn't.
Would David Hume walk in it?
Would anybody Walking Dead?
Maybe he would
Like,
apply
I find it hard to believe
utilitarians.
that anybody would walk in it, even if it teleported you, because like, it's the same, right? It's the same from your point of view. You have to be so selfless to not care about your point of view, and you only care like about your objective like
Well,
place in the
okay,
world.
let's say like science gets far enough and then they actually somehow recreate atom by atom someone's brain and all of a sudden this person just starts like thinking twice as hard.
Huh?
Like
Oh!
or like they attach eyes to the brain and this guy's like, I see two things at once. What the fuck's going
No,
on?
no, no, no. It's like a computer.
Then someone would go into the fucking
No,
teleporter,
no,
right?
you're running a program on a different computer. It's the same program, but it's a different computer.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I mean
something
like
that.
just think like
I don't
what
think
would
it'd be one
cause
program
people
running twice as hard.
Yeah, I wanted
No,
to,
like what would cause someone to like want to actually walk in is if like somehow scientifically it proved that like when another brain is created, you're somehow
Okay.
two of the same things, right?
yeah.
That's the only reason why people would ever like go into the teleporter.
Wait,
That's like
you
obviously
can-
impossible.
Gotta dispel the illusion.
Right. Or you
Impossible to
be a I don't think bundle theories would go into the teleporter though.
Think of
What
all the
have?
Buddhists.
Why?
Think of the Buddhists and
They
guys.
have to.
Well, I don't think they like care, or maybe they would. I don't know. I don't think they would care about going into the teleporter. They would just be like, "It's a teleporter. That's great. There's another experience
Where
collected."
if someone's like, if you're really a bundle theorist, then go in the teleporter, and then they would, right, without question. They're not scared of it at all, right?
No, but you can believe in the theory, but I think you have to like fucking meditate.
believe-
You quote unquote believe in it, but you don't really believe.
Bundle
in it.
theorists don't. I think they would go into the teleporter. I don't know. Only if it like actually provided, like justified to them like the utility that would require because they don't. They believe in death. They don't. But like they don't care. Like when they die, it's not like everything's over.
Okay, what about if a bundle theorist went into a teleporter, and then there were two at the same time, and then a second later it destroyed the first one?
It
Yeah.
just be a different. Just be different.
It would be a different thing. Because, like, at the moment where there's two, they're experiencing different things, so now they're effectively different people.
No, even if
That
they're
seems
experiencing the
so-
same thing, it doesn't matter because experiences are not continuous. Experiences die after they're made.
Okay, I
So
don't
they're-
think that's what bundle theory is exactly. That's, like, something
That's
else.
what I'm
That's, like, some continuation on it. But, like, a bundle theorist would argue that, like, if one gets teleported and one stays and they're like, oops, it messed up, you're going to have a heart attack in 3 days, like, they're going to be like, oh, I'm two different people now. You have the same memory, but at the moment you're split, you're experiencing different things, so you're like, you is different because you now have different experiences.
It just like feels very inconsistent. So you're saying if in the case there's a 1 second delay, the bundle theorist would then not want to go in.
There's not a delay, it's just like you see like a flash of light, right? The thing's like it's going, and then you're like, what happened? I'm not teleported. And you go outside and there's a room and you're like, oh yeah, it teleported you. You can see yourself on that TV, but it kind of messed up and you're gonna die in 3 days.
Or, it shouldn't matter if it's 3 days or 1 second, right?
Yeah, 1 second. Right? At
what
that
if-
1 second, you're two different people.
Then a bundle theorist would consider it them dying.
no.
Yeah, they would consider
What?
that 1 second person dying and then their memory going on.
Okay.
Right.
I'm not a bundle theorist.
That's
I
yeah.
don't- I don't-
That part feels too inconsistent to me. Like,
It's not
how
inconsistent.
can that
right?
1 second difference?
It's two different people. There's like David A who's on Earth and David B who's on Mars, right? They're two different people. You are effectively the same person as someone who was there as David 1 minute ago, but after that 1 second, like after the switch was flipped, and there's now the other guy on Mars. They're two different people
No, I
because
mean
they
I
have different
understand that,
experiences.
but it's like he's going into the teleporter. If it's instant, then I'm living and I'm going to the other side. If there's like a
No, that's not
millisecond
what he
delay,
thinks.
then I'm
Is
dying.
it? Wait, that's not what that's not what the bundle theory is.
If
Wait,
there's
is
a,
it?
it's
I don't get it.
because so. Oh, if there's a 1 second delay, like you're destroyed and 1 second elapses, then you appear on Mars.
No. You appear on Mars and then 1 second passes and you're destroyed.
The you on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're two different people.
So
That's
then the bundle
theory.
theorist would say I'm dying when I go in there.
Yeah. Well, they would say that the one on Earth is dying. The me on Mars.
Okay, but there's not two
The-
me's,
the
right?
you-
Who's the real me?
No, the you on Earth always dies, no matter what, right? Even if there's no delay, you still die on Earth.
Well, no, I think a bundle theorist, if it's instantaneous, then they would say that they
Whoa.
didn't die, right? Because
I
they're
don't
only their thoughts,
really-
beliefs, and experiences, right?
But that's what. Oh, I don't get it. I don't know what bundle theory.
that
Yeah,
not
they
true?
would say that. They would say that. Yeah, if it's instantaneous, this person who's on Mars and is only on Mars is effectively the same person as who you were on Earth. If there's
Yeah.
two people, because the machine malfunctions, then there's like you're two different people. But if one dies, then
I don't know.
you're effectively even if the one dies, like that one's dead.
This is
But-
really interesting because I was like talking to Amanda about this, and she hasn't like looked up a philosophical viewpoint, but like intuitively, just like instinctively, the way she feels about it is like she would go in the teleporter as long as it creates an identical copy of her, because she
What?
only cares about how the objective world. So like she's a bundle theorist, but yet if the two people exist simultaneously, then she's scared to do it, and it's not like she thought about bundle theory or anything. That's just like her instinct. Which is like crazy
that's
to me.
not-
Like,
Oh,
how can that
wait,
be
that-
your emotional instinct?
No, that's your. It's because she. I feel like she doesn't. You told.
That doesn't mean she's
you
a
told her
bundle
she
theorist. It just
dies.
means that like
You told her she dies.
I told her like you can go in the teleporter, and it destroys your matter, and it
Yeah.
creates an exact copy. And she's like, "Yeah, I wouldn't be scared to go in there." I'm like, "But I'm like everything will be black for you." But she's like, that doesn't matter. Like, I'm still alive." But then I told her like, what if it kills you 1 second after? And then she's like, "Oh, that's scary now because now there's like two of me at once, and then it feels like I'm dying."
it doesn't feel like you're dying, but
I mean, I don't.
are you sure she just doesn't grasp the way that like
I mean, she doesn't. She's not thought about the philosophy. That's just how she feels instinctively, which it made sense. It makes sense to me.
Oh yeah.
The first part, where like she's not like I understand how you can see it as you're not dying
Yeah.
because objectively you're the exact same, but even though
Yeah.
it feels like you're dying. But I don't understand how she can instinctively pull out that second part of
Because
if they exist at the same time. Then it's scary.
it
it wouldn't be scary to the bundle theorist.
The bundle what? The
It
bundle
wouldn't-
theorist would be okay with the 1 second delay.
I mean, it wouldn't like matter to them because like, or maybe it would. I don't know. This is
'Cause
good. I have an
then you
exam
would-
on this on Friday.
Because then someone is dying. Maybe like one of you lives, one of you dies, but like someone is dying. But in
Right.
the other scenario, no one dies.
But both of them are the exact same person as you before you press the teleportation button.
Yeah.
So
So like,
like
still one of you is dying,
to the
and the one of you that you actually have to experience
yeah.
can't die.
I feel like the bundle theorist wouldn't care because that what matters to him is that this person who is contiguous to him through memory at the point where you push the teleportation button is like there still, it wouldn't matter. Because that's the point of it. Whether or not he dies, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter to him. That would probably like
he
uproot the
believes in
argument
death.
because
He
they would
believes
just
that
be
people
like,
can die.
yeah, it's like when you die, like you're not just over, like your experiences and your beliefs and desires like continue through other things.
Whoa. That's not a materialist view, right? What is that?
No, bundle theorist is not as
Oh.
completely
There's like there's a
immaterial.
difference. Even if they
That's
like
com-
continue in some ways through other things, it's like less now, right?
Yeah, but it's not like over. They don't
Okay,
care.
but it's like I don't know. The
'Cause, like-
life, it's so much less, right? It's like there's like a clear something is happening. It's like a cutoff, and that's cutoff is death. That's what we call death.
No, it's like no, I don't know if this is bundle theory. How do I share my screen? Let me do some Destiny level Microsoft Paint shit.
Can you share your screen in these?
Bundle? No, I can't. A bundle theorist thinks that like I think this is what a bundle theorist thinks. You are like this tightly woven knit of experiences when you're living, right? Like it's like a million fibers connected into one thing, and when you die, these fibers just like fray out.
So wait, so it's a dualist view with like this fucking magic shit. I don't
No,
get it.
it's not dualist.
Why
It's
did
just
they
like you
spray
are,
out? I don't
How's
understand that.
how's it
Because-
not dualist?
because we like you're fucking like
There's physical, wait, but it's not. Is it? Is it a? Is it a materialist view? It's not, right?
I don't know.
It's
Can you Google
dualist.
bundle theorist.
It says that there's another world of fucking bundles and strings. What the fuck?
No, there's just one world of bundles and strings.
Oh,
It's just that like it
Okay,
just
so-
isn't tightly knit when you die.
what?
Holy.
So it's saying the world is not physical. So it's kind of like a subjective. It doesn't believe in objective. I mean, it doesn't believe in physical reality. It thinks that physical reality is made of. I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe I'm combining it with something else, but it's just that like your properties are just there. And you are the property is nothing else. Right, so it's physical and then respect that properties exist. But it's like dualist in the fact that like that's all you are.
So
You're
so
not.
it's saying things are only their. I don't.
All right, Salish, you got any more topics for us?
No, that was the philosophy was pretty extended.
Very
Shua got his shit in.
2 hour episode.
Yeah, this is good. After 3 episodes of silence.
No, he said that fucking,
Elizabeth Warren
was just her
All right,
grandmother's.
can we do a brief recap of the election stuff? What's happening?
No
Pull up
much
Real
is
Clear
happening.
Politics
Real
and read them to me because I don't want to get out of bed.
Shit ain't happening. It's just kind of slow. I think
Is Warren winning again?
Warren is now winning
Fourth
again.
grade math scores are running.
What are the scores?
Fuck.
27.2 for Biden. 21.8 for Warren.
37.2?
27.2.
Oh, what? He's so far ahead now. What
He's
happened?
5.4 points ahead.
He's
Warren dropped. Warren dropped. She was ahead at one small point.
Sanders has been doing well. He's gotten a few
He's going
endorsements recently.
Up.
You said you were gonna vote for Sanders now. What changed your mind?
I guess like in short, it just comes down to like I think like Sanders has a greater ability because of like if you look at like where Sanders like voter base comes from, a lot of it is like
man.
hey, hey. Basically, like his voter base is like a lot of like the America that's like traditionally ignored. So like I have like faith in his ability to like garner votes that like Biden or Warren or Buttigieg like won't conventionally be able to get.
All right, I'm doing back thrusts now.
That's my general argument. I think this is a good place to end the podcast.
No matter what I do, I can't make my ass sore. Like no or my back. My ass and my back never sore.
I've never heard anyone say something
never used
so
the machine?
wrong.
Deadlift with Shark Boy.
All
Wait,
right.
have you used the ass machine?
Huh?
This machine is
Have you
garbage, dude.
Have you not done thrusts
I'm doing them right now.
with weights?
All right. Thank you for